Hey, Chad Imhoff here, the EFT guy, part of the Success and Vulnerability team, and wanted to share a few thoughts from group this morning. Had somebody come in that was really vulnerable and just kind of honest and said, you know what, I go into session and I have this intent to be process focused and I end up going to content a lot of times. And they're just like, man, I kind of have a little bit of like guilt about that or shame that says I should be more focused on the process. And I'm like, yeah, we are process therapists, but a lot of times where our clients live and where most clients show up is in content. They come in and they say, this is how I've made sense of it. And it has to do with my money, my sex, my relationship, my kids, my whatever the thing is. And a lot of us have thoughts about that as therapists. We go, well, gosh, I know how I handle money or I handle sex or handle kids or handle relationships. These are some things that I do. And it would almost feel mean not to share some of those thoughts. And so I said, heck, there's nothing wrong if you have a good resource with giving that resource to your clients. However, when we're working with people and we're saying, hey, they come in with this content area, I want to make sure that I also go to what it's like for them. And so one of the supervisors goes, so you're saying ask them about the experience of the content. I'm like, oh, that's a great way to put it. Ask them to be curious with you about their experience of content. And so that you can open up space for them to notice the process of emotion that plays out. This is Magda Arnold's research, or this is George Fowler's temp, but we want to get to that level so that we can engage with something that is process, that can kind of change and be applied to more than just one content situation. So they were like, okay, well, how do we do that? And I'm like, man, this is how I do it. I don't know that it's perfect, but this is the way I'll share. So I said, I'll ask them to tell me a little bit about what's happening between them or in relationship, if it's a couple, or the area that they came in for, the area that they've shown distress in. And they'll come in and they'll give me content. And I'll ask them specifically, I'll validate, hey, of course that makes sense. That's hard. This has been a problem for a long time. So today, as we sit here, I'm getting to here and now. How does that impact you? What's the very first thing that you notice now happening when we talk about it? I'm hoping that will open up space to get to the trigger, which will show me emotion and then meaning, and then I can start to understand how they do or what protective action they take in that. That gets me at a process level. So instead of just dismissing content and going away from, oh yeah, of course you want to talk about money, but how does that feel right now? I want to validate their content just for a minute or two. It doesn't take long. And so that I can get aligned with them and we can get into depth and kind of get into their experience. Once I've done that, I can really start to work the tango. I can start to think about the moves that I want to make with the couple and really clarify and expand all those deeper places and get comfort from a partner or from self or from even just the therapist as we're sitting there validating and noticing the pain that someone's in can be really comforting and a new experience of the place of pain. So, we have to have some content to get started, but we do want to quickly get to, and what does that feel like right now? What is their experience of the content in the moment that we're discussing it with them? Y'all, we get better together. Thanks for checking this out. I hope you have a great week, and I hope this helps you think about content as a means to get to process. Have a great week.